All right, it is 3 o'clock. We will get started. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I guess, John, do we have a quorum? We'll start there.
We appear to have, I think we had another one come in. We have 8 members present, so we do have a quorum.
Great. Okay, we will, I guess, move on down to the approval of minutes. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve? If not? Okay, I have somebody that's motioned. I guess I need a second, correct? Do I have a second? All right, I see a second. Everybody, I guess, in favor of approving? All right, approved. Thank you. All right, we will move on down to reports. So up first is me. Y'all know I'm going to have a report like every month, right? Like that's just how I roll. So I'm gonna pass out some things. I've actually, if you want to just pass those down for me. I've mentioned this the last few meetings, but basically I'm excited to officially announce what I'm calling the spring schedule, just so I don't get ahead of myself, for what I've dubbed Ride the Roots with the KTA. Also going to extend an invite to CAT staff, to elected officials, planning commission, folks like that. My intent behind this is basically just to have a time, not quite weekly, but a few times a month from next month until September or October, where basically we just ride all of the routes, and we invite the public to join us if they have any questions just about how to ride the bus or a specific route, or if they have recommendations on, hey, I think we need a bench here, or why does the bus do this, or whatever. It's just, for me, as somebody who, has been on this commission for a few years, but just because of the nature of where I live in my life, still haven't ridden most of the routes myself. I think it'll be educational for us as well. But you'll notice, again, I'm only given the first 3 months, March, April, and May, just because I don't, in case stuff pops up. This also obviously has to deal with my schedule. So where I'm at right now, they're going to mostly be on Thursday evenings. So I hope you all can join us. I hope a lot of the public can join us. The goal will be to meet at the main station and just ride the full route to the end and back. And then there are a few routes where I am also planning to ride at noon the following Friday, just because they're kind of our higher traffic routes. So downtown, Magnolia, Broadway, those routes. I'm very excited about it. I hope you all can come, and I'm hoping to be able to get this put up somewhere on like the CAT website. I'm going to invite the media. I want it to be a thing where we encourage people to not be afraid of riding the bus if they've never done it, right? That we can educate them not just how to ride it, but how we together as a city can, confront the good, the bad, the ugly, and get excited and be optimistic about how to make our transit system better. If y'all have any questions for me, let me know, but that's what I've got for this month.
Dustin, I want to commend you. This is excellent, and I'm excited to participate. This is actually a question for John. Are there any sunshine law implications we need to be careful of while we're out and about doing this?
Yes, but very limited. You should not be discussing KTA business that appears on the agenda or may be appearing on the agenda. If you want to talk about the best brew hub or Cajun cuisine on Union Avenue, you're welcome to do that, and that will not. That's an inside joke. that will not cause any problem with the Sunshine Law or the Open Meetings Act.
And John, just to clarify for myself and the others, though, we can obviously talk about general transit. Like we can talk about how other bus systems in other cities work, or, critique on, hey, it would be nice to have, more shelters or more whatever. Like if it's general transit stuff, that we can discuss that.
Yes, absolutely. Again, it's really what you're concerned about is something that is or may be a subject specifically to the KTA.
Is there any planned programming? Like the last one we did, there was some planned stops. There was a demonstration, a discussion. Unless I might have missed that, but.
So my goal with this and my intent is to just basically have it as an experiential / educational thing. Again, if if somebody from CAT staff can join us, that would be great. Not to take away y'all's evenings, but I am imagining something where if people don't know, for example, like how to use the transit app or that it exists, we can. Hey, here's how you download that. The plan is not to get off anywhere. It is just to, again, experience the fullness of the route and then ride back. I may work with CAT staff and you all. I might have John send out an email to formulate like a question and not question and answer sheet, but I may try to distribute sheets that are basically like, name, email if you're comfortable with your personal information, and then like a question for CAT or a concern or a comment about this route. But anything more than just like a short one-page kind of a form like that, it's just going to be kind of a let's collectively witness what these routes look like and just talk about how to make them better.
That might be an opportunity in the future to engage local businesses so we can get off at stops and learn more about the business and get them involved as well, since a lot of people are riding the buses to their businesses. So that might be something we can keep in the mind in the future.
Sure. Yeah. I know. That's something I would want to talk to John and the CAT staff about, because I never want to, in this capacity, right? Like if I was just doing it as me, I wouldn't mind, but I just don't want to make sure. I want to make sure it doesn't look like we're playing favorites with certain businesses. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, why'd you stop at business A and not business B? But I do think that it's something that I would again love to invite the media to it, just to drum up support and understanding about like, oh, hey, you want to go to the library or this brewery or whatever, and you can't drive for X, Y, or Z reason. Like there's a bus, and like this is how you use it. So yeah, for me, it's more of a let's view the corridor itself and let's experience the corridor than an individual business. But in a non-KTA capacity, I'm happy to to do something like that. Cool. All right. Well, that's all I've got. Do any other commissioners have any comments? Okay, great. We will move on to staff.
Yeah, just have a couple of things. First, back in December, I provided the board with our, let me pull it up here, our service restoration plan. And we had planned on bringing back Route 12 and Route 20 on March 23rd. We're actually going to bring back Route 12, Route 17, and Route 20 on March 9th. So those will all start Monday, March 9th. And then our plan is on May 4th to bring back Route 15 and Route 42. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule on our estimated restoration plan. We have 20 operators in training. We have 7 more starting March 9th, possibly more than 7. We have 7 committed so far. So we're hitting the goals in terms of our recruiting, training. So I want to thank staff for all the work that they have done to do that. The other thing I want to mention too is just the downtown connector increased ridership again in January. We're up to 8,000, just over 8,000 rides. We saw an increase in January, saw an increase this month, and those are well over last year's totals. So that is all my updates, unless the board has questions.
I have a question. Great job being ahead of schedule. Well done. I'm happy to hear that. What was the biggest concern that could stop that progress from happening? I mean, anything short of just drivers quitting is that the biggest threat? It's
losing drivers in the training process.
Okay.
Yeah. I think which we've done a really good job the last few months of not doing. At least we've stopped the bleeding on that, I would say, would be the best term to use. But just we got to every month continue to recruit, train, to keep our numbers up. So,
and by your all's own metrics, are you feeling like the Route 1 experiment so far has been positive or above expected?
It's been positive. And again, we averaged around 6,500. We had 7,500 last month. We're now up to 8,000. Hopefully we continue in that direction. I like to see it at 10,000. That's the goal. But it's heading in the right direction. So it's been positive so far.
Thank you.
Isaac, is there are you all at a point with these restoration dates to and maybe it's there and I just haven't seen it to announce that on the website. And is there any way to also put that on the transit app, or is that like you're too cautious? You don't want to?
No, we were planning on doing that, but we wanted to inform KTA first.
Okay.
So that's our next step.
Okay,
And then
awesome.
we'll also have staff on the platform March 9th as well. So to talk about the increased service that we're having and make sure everybody knows where they need to go. So
Do you know if there's any way on our end to program like a pop-up announcement like that on the transit app, or is that out of our hands? Because I think that would be convenient too on the app, just to be able to see like, hey, on this date, these routes are going to be back to this level of service.
I think we can do that. I'm pretty sure we can do that, have a pop-up like that.
Okay, yeah, I think that would be great. Thank you.
Yep.
I have a question just for clarification. Did Route 44 really have 108 riders per hour?
Yes.
Passengers per hour?
Yeah, typically it has that many riders. It's because of the number of hours we're doing. It's only Monday through Friday. It's all UT students that ride that.
Got
It's
it.
a high ridership route.
Okay. Any other commissioners' comments about the staff report? No? Okay, great. I will move on to TPO.
Thank you. I don't have anything today, but I did want to introduce myself since we have a few new commissioners. My name is Doug Burton. I work for the Transportation Planning Organization. So I'm not a staff member of CAT. I'm not on the board, but I'm here in a technical advisory capacity. The Transportation Planning Organization is housed at Knoxville, Knox County Planning. Amy Brooks is my director. We're a little bit unique in planning in that we also do planning at a high level for not only Knox County, Anderson County, Blount County, and Loudoun County. So I work very closely with CAC and ETHRA, but I've been there for over 36 years. Attorney Lawhorn and I are the historians, I will say, here. So sometimes that comes in handy. But I've done transit planning, and I work very closely with CAT. A lot of times they'll have some work that they'll ask us to help pick up the slack for them. Like we helped oversee the CAT Reimagine study, worked very closely with them, but we ran that through our office. So that's kind of why I'm here in a technical capacity. And from time to time, I'll be reporting out on different studies we're doing.
Also just want to mention and welcome Councilmember Matthew DeBartolome to the KTA. So look forward to working with you and hopefully set up a meeting to get you more acclimated into KTA. So.
All right, thank you, Doug. Let's move on to new business. Is there any new business?
We have no new business.
All right, is there any old business?
We have no old business.
All right, you're just burning through this thing. All right, I guess we will now move to, we will move to the public comments section. I have one person signed up. I have no last name, but I have a name, first name Laura. So Laura, if you are here still, now is your time to come up. They are turning on the podium, and you will have, I believe, 5 minutes to speak and give public comments.
So you answered my question. I was just going to ask a question.
All right, well, we appreciate you being here. I guess we can open it now, right? So if anyone else in the audience wants to come give a public comment, you're free to come and give a comment. Oh, yes, and please state is it name and address? Name and address for us, please.
Is this height good for you, sir?
Hi, my name is Bart Gibbons. I live on Michaels Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee. I am a CAT employee, and I just want to bring some clarifications to a couple comments that were made. So they might be out of order, but we'll first go to the college. As far as that running of so many passengers, it's a free ride. It's built into their tuition, but they wait there at Gate 21, and almost every trip, depending on the transition of classes, they'll get on, and it goes exclusively to their home. There's no stopping at several different stops, just one stop to another, and then we'll pick up and bring. So that's continuous throughout the day. Depending on, the day of study. Something big to note is the downtown connector. We're not getting new riders. All right, this services downtown, and what we have downtown especially for a free ride, is the homeless. And it's a good thing. I mean, it's fine. They'll ride it all day long just to stay out of the heat or the cold, go from, the platform to closer to Broadway. But those numbers are also repetitive. It's not all new riders. It could be 100 riders riding, 1,000 times. It depends on the amount of ridership depends on how many of the same people are riding. All right, that kind of gives a false number. As far as the something we struggle with big time is our buses. I don't know what's going on. I can't speak to it, but they're in disrepair. I mean, our buses will, on several routes, need to be replaced throughout the day. And this isn't even the electric buses that need to be replaced because of charge. But the solution for us drivers, we're not mechanics, but the common solution is shut the bus down, shut the batteries off, wait 3 to 5 minutes, and start it back up and see if whatever warning lights that you're having issues with clears. And that's basically as common as starting the bus in the morning. I'm not sure why we're having so many problems with the buses. We've just spent God knows how much money on these electric buses, but these hybrid buses that we have now are, not all of them, several of them, handful, are being parted out in the garage, just taking parts. And these were beautiful buses, great running buses. Now, whether that was for whatever reason, crashes or whatnot, I don't see any indication of crashes, except maybe 1 or 2. And I can see where that would happen. And that's a big problem for the drivers. It's frustrating. There's a lot of frustrating things out there that we have to deal with, and one shouldn't be whether our bus is going to be adequately maintained for us to do our job. We already have situations to where we're handling the platform without a platform supervisor most of the time. That it's inconsistent. It was very consistent, but now we're in a somewhat transitional mode where we'll have one at one time, we won't have one another. I was just on a route the other day, and a young lady who normally comes on, and then a person who I've seen before came on behind her. This guy right away started antagonizing her, and I don't know what our policy is.
You have 1 minute, sir.
I know we can't lay hands on people, but I raised my voice. Not raised my voice initially, but told him, hey, you can see she doesn't want your attention, please stop. And it escalated, and he ended up assaulting her. He ended up getting away on the platform. Police report was made, and we just need more oversight because our authority is limited as bus drivers. Lastly, with Reimagine, we removed a lot of bus stops.
30 seconds, sir.
We've removed a lot of bus stops, and these bus stops now are so far apart, it doesn't mean having bus stops close together. It means we stop at every single one. All it does is allow the customer, the riders, to have options of where to catch that bus. All right, it doesn't slow down the operation unless there's somebody standing there. Some of these people, elderly, I have to say.
Your time is concluded, sir.
You see where I'm going. Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else in the audience have any public comments they want to give? Nope. Okay. Well, thank you, sir, for your comments. I always appreciate hearing from drivers and staff and getting that inside view. That actually, if I may, I have 2 kind of questions based on that comment real quick. One, does staff know offhand what is because I know we've recently purchased a lot of these electric buses. What's the average age of our fleet? Do we know that?
Yeah, most of our hybrid and diesel buses are almost beyond their useful life. They have anywhere from 400 to 500,000 miles. We have 21 electric vehicles in the fleet, and we're trying to purchase more of those. But a lot of our issues is we have a very aging fleet in terms of hybrid and diesel. So.
And do you know offhand what percentage of the fleet is pure electric versus diesel or hybrid? Because it's a small minority currently, right?
Correct. I think we have 8 diesel buses, 21 electric buses, and then everything else is a hybrid. And we have a total of 75.
Okay.
So
Another follow-up question to those comments. How do we, and maybe we've mentioned this in the past, but with the downtown connector going through its free trial phase, I'm curious, how do we track like the onboardings? Because if you don't have to purchase something from the transit app, or do you still have to purchase it, but it just shows up as a $0 transaction? Like how are we able to, track the onboardings of a free bus?
So all of our buses have automatic passenger counters. Okay. So both the front door and the back door.
Okay.
So we're counting in getting on, counting in getting off.
Okay. And there's not really a way to track the actual figures of distinct people getting on, right? Or can we do that through the transit app, since it's like an specific account would purchase, not for the downtown connector, but like because a specific account on the transit app would have to purchase a ticket. Would that be a better metric of tracking, or is it just, I'm assuming, common practice in transit agencies to track onboardings versus people?
Yeah, the common practice is to count onboardings. Is your unlinked passenger trips is the common practice. Okay. You have a percentage of your passengers who are using transit app that you can say, okay, these are unique people using transit. The other part we don't know, and that's the people still using cash.
Okay. Is it possible, just, and if it's not too much work, is it possible for the next month's report for us to get a peek inside the individual people onboarding the downtown connector, like or not downtown, but I mean maybe it's just an example route, but I would be curious to see on one of our more ridden routes via the transit app at least, because again, obviously you can't track everything, but just to see what is the difference in onboardings versus individual people. Is that something that we could get just like an example of to see if there's a big difference in them? Huh? Yeah, unique riders. Yeah. I mean, again, if that's like getting way too in the weeds, that's fine. I just didn't know if that was something that could be beneficial.
All we could do is give you a number of people that have either the Smart Pass or the Smart Card Pass, and then people that use the mobile ticketing app.
Okay.
So that's all we could give you is a total number on that. Again, it does not count for the people that are paying in cash.
That's fair. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Can I make a quick comment? Just concerning the Route 1. One thing concerning the Route 1 ridership, when we first introduced the Route 1, we was getting close to 10,000 riders a month. And that was when it was a fare attached to it. When we rerouted the route, because we knew the baseball stadium was coming, there was always the plan to reroute the bus around the baseball stadium, and we reduced the bus temporarily. That's when our numbers on the Route 1 dropped some to around 6,000. That ridership that we lost on the Route 1 actually started using the Route 34 more. So the Route 34 increased because it followed the same path that the Route 1 originally served. So when we brought the Route 1 back, it had a different route, and the numbers slightly went up some more. And when introducing the free fare, the numbers aren't drastically changed. Although I do agree there may be some repeat ridership, of course, but the numbers kind of went up because of the partnership with Visit Knoxville, and also people getting more familiar with the route. But the numbers haven't just drastically went up. We still maintaining a good ridership number based on the route, and once baseball season comes back, those numbers will continue to increase to help transport our customers to the baseball stadium. So just wanted to give you some more insight on the Route 1 numbers.
Okay, awesome. Thank you all.
Can I ask a question of either Mr. Tennessee or any of the staff? Have you ever entertained the idea, and this may be a terrible idea, of having the connector also cross the river to reach Sevier Avenue? I mean, I know we have the Chapman Highway route and the South Knoxville route, but I'm seeing more and more people walk across Gay Street, and it seems like our growth is heading across the river, and yet parking over there is so terrible. I don't know if that's a future opportunity, but I was just curious if that's something the team has ever discussed.
I know that at one point in time, before my time here, we did have a trolley service over in that area. It was added and removed because it didn't have the ridership. I know obviously things have changed drastically. Yeah, I'm not going to speak for the planning team, but I believe the biggest problem would be just time. How much time do we have in that route? Right now, it's on a 15-minute frequency. If you're adding Sevier Avenue, was it 20, 25 minutes? It's going to be 30 minutes. So that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, yes, and now we have to travel across Henley anyway to serve that area or the South Knoxville Bridge. But when they closed the Gay Street Bridge, it did affect 3 routes that would have been serving that community more effectively. So we had to adjust to that, but we'll look into that, no, for sure.
Route 1 is currently not, it's on a 15-minute frequency, but it's not on a schedule, correct?
It is on the schedule.
It is on a schedule.
Mhm.
I thought,
It is
and I
still
might have
15-minute
misunderstood, but I thought it was just like, find a stop, it'll show up within 15 minutes. But
That's true, but it's still.
well, I know it's true,
still
but
has
I remember trying to
not
look up the
published.
schedule
You're
and
right,
not
it's not
seeing like
published.
it's going to be at
Yeah.
this place at this time.
You're right.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious if I understood that correctly. Thank you.
Can you guys share with us, what is the percentage of people who are still using cash versus the electronic methods?
I think it's around 20%. People are still using cash. So, I mean, we're still looking at the options of going cashless. A lot of agents are moving towards that. We started that process 2 years ago. We hit pause on it. We do want to bring that proposal back because we feel like things have changed a little bit to make it more palatable for people with some of the things that we're doing and where they can go to get their card reloaded if they have a smart card. So at some point in time, we do want to bring that back and have that discussion again with our stakeholders and the public.
Is the main stop still the only place where you can get the initial card?
It's really, it's on the east side. The biggest feedback that we got on the east part of Knoxville, there's not as many locations you can go to load your card. And that's what we got to work on. I think we've done everything we can except for expanding the number of businesses and locations people can go to load their card up in East Knoxville. So
I remember that you had to go to the actual CAT station, and that was the only location where you can get the original card.
Original
Is that
card.
still the case?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's a good question. Thank you for that. Is the rationale or the reasoning behind that, like not having more of those machines at, obviously not every stop, but like at major stops? Because I know a lot of cities you can purchase before you onboard, and that also helps with frequency because people aren't waiting to get their ticket on the bus. Like I'm sure there've been discussions, but can you educate us a bit on the details of like why we don't have more of those machines at major stops and what it would take to get them? Are they just too expensive?
Very expensive. They're typically $50,000 a machine. So, that's the reason why. Those ticket vending machines are very, very expensive, and then also maintaining them. You're constantly loading them, taking out cash or whatnot from them.
Is there a way, and I'm just thinking out loud here, is there a way that on some of our stops, especially stops that have like shelters, and I think I've seen this on some, but is there a QR code on pretty much our main stops that will at least let you scan to download the transit app if you don't have it? Because I feel like something like that is low cost and could be a very easy entry to barrier for folks who might not even know that exists as an option.
Yeah, again, I think that was something that was brought up during that public input process that people wanted, and I think that's what we're looking at doing. I do believe on most of our major stops is putting at the QR code that you can download the app.
Okay.
So there's a few things that we're basically trying to work on before we roll this back out.
Sure. Okay, awesome. That's great. Okay. Anybody else want to talk buses? Are we done for the day? Okay. All right. Well, with that, then I guess we will wrap this up. We will set the next meeting for March 26th 2026. I don't need a motion to adjourn, do I? All right, well then we are done. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for the public for being here.